what is up, guys? Welcome to the Fix This Build That Sunday Night Live show. I'm Brad.
I'm Susan.
And we're here, hopefully, in good audio. So YouTube, let us know what is up with the audio. I'm going to see who we got here on the Instagram. We are doing both Instagram and YouTube. If you're on Instagram, please come join us on YouTube. You can go to fixthisbuildthat.com/live, and it will shoot you right into there, or it's on the second channel. If you search for Fix This Build That Live, you will find it. All right, who do we have? We have Katie. What's up, Katie? Come join us on YouTube. Bill Niemeyer, what up? What up? Luke Bon Giovanni, what's up, dude? Long time no see. Long time no see. Van Hodges. Figure out, yeah, Burke Boland. Let us know, guys. Let us know. Better audio. Everybody said, look, guys, the water is clear and warm. Come join us on YouTube. We are good. So Burke Boland, head on over. Let's see here. Chris Parks, loud and clear. Awesome, awesome. Condoros Creations, what is up? Potensis, hola, mi amigo. ¿Qué pasa? Matt makes CB. Good evening.
Good evening.
Audio.
All right.
The audio is working. Last week we had some audio issues on YouTube, and so we didn't even publish. I delisted it.
Oh, yeah, I saw. Yeah.
And so we're good now. So sorry about that last week, but we are here. So it looks like we got a whole group over here. We got Dennis Miko over in West Virginia. Justin. Susan is greeting all these folks. Mike's Donaldson.
Here.
What is up, Mike? Excellent, excellent. Well, we got a full crowd.
Yeah.
I do want to give a shout out to some new members who joined the Builders Club. We did it last week, but since it was so choppy and everything, I want to do it again.
Right.
We had Jhonatan Diaz, or Diaz, tomato, and Will Lineberger. So thank you so much, guys. If you are interested in joining the Builders Club, what it is it's basically a place, it's the inside circle of Fix This, Build That, where people get early access, more content, weekly updates, free plans, merch, and even video credits in our YouTube channel or YouTube videos. If you're interested at all in looking at that, you can go to fixthisbuildthat.com/Builder Club or Builders Club, because I figured people will, might mess that up. So, boom. Now I don't have to say go search on Patreon /Builders Club.
Yeah.
I did it, finally.
There you go. Good job.
All right. What is up? My name is P Nice. What is up, P Nice?
Hey.
And who else we got? Buenos Aires. Saludo from Buenos Aires. Awesome. Katie is glad to be here, and we are glad you are here. Creator Nader in the house. We got Chile in the house. Joel, we are still live on YouTube. Joel, come over and join us. Is the Builders Club the same as Patron? Katie, it is, and you are in it. And we thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
So that is the name, because we call it the Builder Club because, and I know I've been saying this for like a month now, but eventually it will have a YouTube membership side, so it'll be the two combined, YouTube membership as well as Patreon. And so instead of just saying, oh, go to Patreon or go to YouTube membership, the Builders Club is inclusive of both of those and get the same benefits. All right, so what have we been doing this week?
What have we been doing this week?
Well, I just got done. I mean, this is like Insta, what have we been doing? I just got done changing the spark plugs.
Yes.
On the minivan.
On the van. Keeping it
And
running.
I tell you what, I was in a mood. I was like,
He was. Oh, jeez.
it was about like
We all jumped to attention in the
6
house.
o'clock.
Oh, man.
And I was like looking around, and like so much stuff was
Yeah.
undone in the house, and like I just like all these things are weighing on my mind, and like I saw this set of spark plugs, and I'm like, I was thinking about going fishing.
Yes.
And Susan, as
Always.
wonderful as she is, she was like, just go fishing. And I was like, no. I was like, we need to get things done. And she was like, what? And I was like, everything.
The kids were upstairs playing video games, and he was like, because it was a mess in the room that they were in. They're just ignoring the mess.
Yes.
And so I had them stop doing that. They cleaned their rooms. They cleaned that room. I cleaned up stuff, just handled some business. It does feel good.
It
It's
does.
Like we
it feels
look around
great.
the house
so I
now,
just
it
went
looks
out there,
great.
went out and just installed the spark plugs. And I'll tell you what, it's a Veed 6. Getting those plugs on the back of that engine is a pain in the booty. But I did post a couple of little tools that help me out. So if you're doing any spark plug repairs, interchanges, exchanges, I don't know why I'm making that. If you're replacing your spark plugs, I think is the easy way to say that. There's two little tools I put on my Instagram post just recently, like just a few minutes ago. Check them out because it helped a ton. and it's awesome. Yeah, today, we got a new beer actually today.
Yeah, do you like it?
Tiny Bomb American Pilsner. Yeah,
I
it's
randomly
all right.
bought it for him, so
It's
yeah,
all right.
it's all right. It's a
Who's
cool
it from?
label.
It's from the good folks at Wise Acre.
Don't know who that is, but
In
they've got
Memphis.
a really cool. Oh yeah, that's right, because it said on the thing from Memphis,
Made
and
in
I
Tennessee.
thought, local-ish. So
Yeah, so no video this week. We launched the
what did we launch?
modern sofa.
Yes,
that
that was
was
right.
last Sunday. No video today, and then this coming Sunday's video is going to be a nightstand with a secret.
With the secrets.
I feel like
Wasn't there like a kids show that they used to watch? It was like, shh, secret. Like that's what I think about
yeah.
every time.
And I've been doing some testing. I teased this on Instagram as well as YouTube. I started to do a lot of, if you're on YouTube, they actually have stories and posts there similar to like Instagram. And I've been on there quite a bit, or at least quite a bit more, meaning some than none. But I showed this and this on both of those channels, and this is kind of a teaser of what's yet to come. And since you guys are here on the live, I'm going to give you guys a little sneak peek. So you guys may have seen this, and this is, if you saw the computer desk that I made a couple months back, then it had a similar design to this, the exact same design, just a little bit smaller and thinner lines. And what I wanted to do is turn this into a secret compartment release button. So watch this. I know it's kind of hard to see.
Kind of hard to see, yeah.
But
Just be impressed. Be very impressed.
this goes in
What?
secret. I think I should. That should be like the
geez.
thumbnail. Secret. So this
Just
comes.
Brad's eye staring out of the piece of wood at you.
Yes. So it's not going to go all the way out in the final piece, but the idea is that you will push this in. I've always loved like secret boxes, and like National Treasure is one of my favorite
Yeah, we
movies.
watched it with the kids. They loved it.
Even though Nick Cage is in it, but whatever.
You don't
I just he's just a cornball. But you're like pushing all these things, and I've been watching Chris Ramsey. He's on YouTube. He does a lot of puzzle boxes and stuff, and so I really wanted something. So I haven't quite figured out how we're doing it yet.
We're still working on it.
I have figured it out. We just haven't implemented it.
You were fine tuning the ideas
But
today.
and so I did actually. So it's there as well as here because I was trying a couple different things.
Little
And then
methods.
obviously this.
That one didn't work out
That
so
one,
well.
That one didn't work.
That one's like not a secret anymore. Really obvious. There's a hole.
Yeah. So
Yep.
that is what is going on. That's what we're working
what's
on,
up.
and good Lord willing, that will come out on
Say
Sunday.
some prayers this week. That everything, because there's
Because
lots
that
of like,
might be a little
he's
hot
like,
here.
I was telling him, I was like, it's a good thing you're an engineer because he's like engineering this up big time. Lots of,
because it's
lots
going to
of
be.
contraptions.
Well, I don't want to spoil it, but
No,
it's
right.
going to be.
I know, I didn't want to go too far.
Right, it's
but
going to be something's going to happen when I push this button. Obviously,
There will be something.
You don't just.
No, it's not like a little like
toddler
"Oh,
toy.
yay."
Like a little latch on here,
It just
maybe
makes a squeaky noise.
some fuzzy string.
Right, no.
So that is what is going on, my friends.
It's going to be kind of fun and different.
Let me scroll back up here. Creator Nader, what up, dude? Let's see here. We got Tony Kidsvo from Burbank.
I have to jump in. Maker by Proxy said, "Hey guys, I had serious FOMO and had to buy that last hat. I've rocked it all weekend."
Robert Kelly. I know. I was like, oh, Robert, I didn't realize you
It's
were
Maker by
that far
Proxy.
out.
Yeah.
But yes, I saw, man. Dude, congrats on the hat because you did get the last one.
We're done.
Robert
They're
is,
gone. I'm moving things.
He's the one that picked up the laser.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So I saw your name
awesome.
and I wasn't sure. I was like, wait a minute, is that? And then
It's the same Robert.
excellent, man, excellent.
That's cool.
Yeah, Nick Cage is kind of whatever, but.
I mean,
Dials
whatever.
89,
He's an
what is
actor.
up? Send the link to the guy who has a small piece of raw wood and made it into 20 different secret compartments. Katie,
Oh, wow.
that'd be awesome. Send that to me. I'd
You
love to see
would
it.
love that.
Chris Ramsey, yep, Thompson 80, loving Chris Ramsey. We love him too.
Yeah.
And Casey got the other one. Wood Pastor, what is
man.
up? Machuca. Steve Machuca in the house.
And then we have Phil Maxey says, waiting for the boxer shorts. You could be like Ellen and have boxer
Have
shorts.
the boxers,
That'd be awesome.
boxer briefs.
Socks,
Maybe we should
all
go boxer
kinds of
briefs
things.
because
Yes,
woodworking. You
'cause
want to
it's
make sure
cooler.
everything is,
Yep.
compact.
And lots of comments over here. Raymond says way better experience on YouTube. People are saying it's way better than Instagram. So great, we're firing on all cylinders over here.
Excellent,
Teresa,
excellent.
how's the heat? It's still there. Remind me where's Teresa?
Teresa's in Texas.
Texas. Oh, geez.
It's not even the heat. It's just the humidity. My gosh,
and
the
I know
humidity
that's
is
like
brutal
such
around
the
here.
that's like the typical
I know.
thing people say, but
That's
it's
what people
true.
say. But it
We
is
had
true.
a storm come through early in the morning this morning. Woke me up. I was up for 2.5 hours, like early, way too early. And but then afterward, it felt really nice out there for a little while, and then it was
just
hot
rolled
again.
back in.
Yeah,
Rolled
so
back in,
It was
but-
short-lived.
It's all good.
Take it when we can get
Jack
it in July.
McDevitt building a pergola for your mom, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's
Here's
so cool,
Simo
Jack.
asking about the lumber
Yeah, I was gonna put that
around
one out.
Nashville. And a lot of people are, I have definitely seen a lot of different shortages in different building supplies and materials. For sure in fishing.
Oh my gosh!
If you want to go
That's
fishing,
not really a building to supply.
I know,
It's building
I'm
your
making-
arsenal for catching fish.
I'm making corollaries here.
I know.
So
Brad has stocked up.
I have really gotten into fishing. So if you got any fishing questions or like throw it, let's go. I'm going to start talking about
Oh
fishing.
my gosh, he
a
watches
lot.
fishing videos a lot now. And tell the people how many rods are we about to own?
A few. We're going to go from one. So I've had like one rod for like my whole life, and now we're going to have like 7. So
We can all
maybe
go
just
fishing.
Six.
Yeah,
Six.
Yeah.
6. But we have a family of 5, and so that's just
Right.
one extra.
Yeah. Now we've got to convince our oldest that it's not cruel and unusual punishment.
No, our oldest.
He is out.
He's decided he doesn't want to fish with me because he doesn't like killing the worms.
Yeah.
But I don't use worms anymore.
Right, but he doesn't even like the fish getting hooked, I don't think.
Yeah, it's all good.
Whatever.
But anyway, you threw me off course. What were you talking about?
Building
The building
Yeah,
materials and
sorry.
supplies. Anyway, yeah, fishing stuff wiped out, bicycles wiped out, and then that's like
Yeah.
flowing down because some of the building supplies. I have seen that. I haven't had any issues getting stuff yet, but I've heard a lot of people telling me, and I haven't bought a lot of stuff recently either. So I think like cedar is getting a little bit lower because a lot of people are telling me when I did the modern sofa, I had all that stuff on hand, but they were like, dude, I can't find it because.
Oh, really?
And I that makes sense
you
because I
think
bet a
it's
lot of people are making
outdoor
decks
stuff?
and pergolas and stuff like
well,
that.
Jack is. Maybe he went and got some cedar.
Maybe Jack
he bought
bought it
all the
all.
cedar, folks.
Maybe Jack bought it
Yeah. What was I going to say? Oh, Bill says he has to work on his projects at night because it's too hot in his garage in Tampa.
Yes.
I can imagine.
Or, and Katie's in Texas as well. We got a lot of people in Texas.
Yeah.
Mojave
Fans don't
Desert.
cut it.
Ooh,
What? Mojave Desert.
he says it's 113. Or that.
At least you don't have the
A
humidity
cold,
out
it's
there.
a cold snap in Texas and it's getting down to 100.
Oh my gosh. I've never been to Texas. It just seems like, I mean, I would love to go to Texas. Like, I don't know. I would go whenever. I would just deal with the heat. But gosh,
Yes.
it's so hot.
Before we jump into some other questions, we had a question that came in from Matt Powell last week.
Right.
And we get all mixed up, so we didn't answer it.
Right.
But Matt was asking about how to get great joints on miters, like miter joints, and not just like picture frames, but like long joints. And the great thing is I did a whole video on that very recently. So I have a video, and I think I called it, what do we call it? 5 steps, 5 tips, how to get better, stronger miter joints. I don't even remember.
Sure.
6 easy steps, 4 easy steps,
I
5.
don't know.
It's
Some
something.
number, easy steps.
Look on my, search Fix This Build That miter joints,
The miter
and
box
it'll come
thing?
up. Yeah, the
Yeah,
miter
yeah,
box
oh
thing.
yeah.
Well, because I used mitered splines.
Yes.
I used splined miters, whichever way you want to do that. Splined miters is probably the way you would actually say that, for the computer desk. And it was the first time I did that, and it worked out awesome. And I
Yeah.
was like, man, I
was
want to
cool.
do a whole video on this. So I did an entire video.
He was inspired.
I was.
It turned
was
out
pretty
really
well received.
well. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
People like it.
and I think I'm going to use them on this nightstand that I'm building because it's going to be out of the leftover walnut plywood from the computer desk.
We're using our resources wisely
We
over
are.
here.
Casey Homer was asking, what do I recommend for cooling a larger detached garage, 35 by 50?
Oh wow.
I wasn't sure if one of the swamp cooler style ones would create too much humidity, cause a problem. So if you're not familiar, you're probably not because it's not a swamp cooler.
I didn't. Yeah, I was surprised to hear that.
Yeah.
Swamp cooler.
It sounds odd, but a swamp cooler is basically a humidifier And it works best in low humidity areas. So it's like swamp coolers work really well in like Arizona. And because you're have dry air, but it's very hot. And basically what it does is, like the misters.
How do you
if
know
you're at
all
the,
these things?
you just learn. Like the amusement park when you walk by and they're shooting the misting system.
Yeah.
That's basically a swamp
Well,
cooler.
that makes sense. Swamp cooler, because it's making it more
More swampy.
Now it makes a lot more sense.
I mean,
to me.
it's yeah. So
it could be like
in
a
Texas,
desert cooler.
If you're in
for
an
the one
arid region.
for like, do they have desert coolers? The opposite of a swamp cooler?
Yeah, it's called an air conditioner.
Okay. Just seems like it should be called
An air conditioner is a dehumidifying
Okay, gotcha.
cooling device. So the other one doesn't cool, it just literally shoots out wind and water. But
How
that's
does
it cools
but
by
says
evaporation.
Cooler. Oh.
Because that's the same thing. Like when you walk by one of those things at the amusement park.
That's true.
Like it puts
it's
the
like you can
the
do
moisture gets on your skin and it's somewhat atomized or vaporized, and so then it evaporates on your skin, and that makes your skin feel cooler.
You sound like a scientist.
Scientist.
Atomized.
So
vaporized.
So if you're very humid where you're at, you're not going to have great success with that.
No.
Anyway.
You need a desert cooler.
You know what I need?
What?
A dessert cooler.
No, you don't. I have a big
Not
old
a
thing of
desert
brownies
cooler.
in there.
But what I use, and it's not cheap, but my goodness, it is one of the best investments I've ever made in the shop, is a mini split.
Yes.
I bought the Mitsubishi. We had that installed. It's been 2 years now.
3 years ago? I think it's been
3 years.
longer than 2.
And I got it installed, I think. No, it was after. It was at the end, so it's about 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Because I got it installed at the end of the heating season,
Oh
or
my
the cooling
gosh.
season, which was silly. But it's awesome because it will also heat your garage. So I did the mini split. I don't know, you'd probably, I think I got a 16,000 BTU. They go up to maybe 24 or 28,000 BTU. I don't know if that would be enough, especially with the distribution of the air to do that. You might potentially need one at both ends of the shop for something that big. Like our space is 31 by 18. So your space sounds like it would be about 4 times as big as that, a little bit less than that. But
It is glorious out here, though.
it is tremendous.
I mean, like even
like right now, it's a nice.
with it being humid and
It's
hot outside.
73 degrees in here.
It's not
and-
humid, but we're
Yeah,
like.
where's the humidity? I don't have
Now
the-
the kids' bikes are in the front, and so they have been trained now. Like if they're getting out a bike or a scooter, door goes up, they get it out, door goes down.
better
Like
put
the
that
door does not
door down.
the door does not stay open really ever
You're gonna
here.
get in trouble if you don't.
But it is so nice.
It is.
Yeah,
It's
I was saying the other
fantastic.
day, like if you didn't have that right now, this would be the time of year
Oh.
where you'd be miserable out
Yeah,
here.
and so I think it was. I want to
was
say
well
it
worth
was
it.
$3,200 installed.
Yeah.
Again, not cheap. But this is also my office,
Right.
and so
And
it business expense.
Thought about it for years.
Right.
I mean, like we were deliberating.
So as a hobbyist, that would be very hard.
Yeah.
But if you are like making furniture or
Yeah.
making anything to sell, I think you could justify it through your better work conditions, and
Yeah.
you'll get a lot more work out
humane
of it.
working conditions.
And your wood movement will go down.
Oh no,
57
Raymond.
Mary, what is up? We got Colin, Coil Nath from Australia. What's up? What's up? Let's hear Della Boyd from Brazil. Thompson 80s is from Tennessee. Fantastic, man. JF Woodworking and Design from Olympia, Washington.
Wow, that sounds cooler.
All right, Spline Miter. Steck Custom says Spline Miters. Katie, the Pankua, just finished rewatching the Crosscut Sled from a while back, and others have said it may be a dumb question, but how do you determine the base of your sled? I have a DeWalt 745. That's a good question because I made the table saw sled. If you've not seen the video, I've got a video exactly how to make one and plans for that are free, which is great. And basically the way I made mine was that it was the entire depth. Actually, that's not, I don't know if that's true or not. It was almost, I forget. I made mine extra deep, and I think it's at least 24 inches deep so that I could cut cabinet parts because I was limited by my last one, I think, which was 18 inches deep. And I seemed like I always had like 20 or 22 inch parts. And a typical cabinet side would be maybe 24 inches. So I think I made it at least that long. And then I made it the width of my table saw without the wings. And I kind of just used that as a guide. But I also looked at how much I wanted to be able to use my tape measure to the right and I don't use it much to the left, but to the right. So, and I believe that turned out to be, again, 20-ish, 22 inches, something like that. So it's all up to you. But what you don't want to do is you don't want it to be too big for, so if you have like the small sled or small table saw, don't make it so big that when you push it, it wants to tip over, or make sure you have outfeed support for that. That would be the one caution, is don't make it too big, because then you're gonna have trouble, you know, if you go too far past the blade and all of a sudden, you know, it wants to tip.
Oh, it's not good.
No, not good.
Don't do that. Raymond
Maurice says 4 steps to easy and strong miter joints.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maurice.
Yeah. Raymond says, Connecticut here, and AC just broke.
Oh, ouch.
I still remember the first 90-degree day of the summer, years ago when we were still in Ohio, and it was hot, and you were at work because you were working full-time back then.
Back in the day.
And the air conditioner broke and had 3 little kids, and we went to like a ball pit place with air conditioner because I was like, I can't handle this. It's not good.
It is.
Yeah.
What do we have over here?
All right.
I've been hammering
so
the
we've got,
Instagram.
Blaine says he's about to build a set of shelves for his workshop. So that sounds cool. Lori says it was 116 degrees in Phoenix today. Not the hottest temperature we've had. I don't have any questions.
No questions. Just band. I like it.
Oh, no, that's not true. Raymond says, have you ever made a wine box for a wedding?
I have not made a wine box for a wedding, but I have made a jewelry box, which is extremely similar to a wine box.
Super pretty.
And it's actually right here, one of them. This was actually the first one I think I ever made. But a wine box is a little more simple. This is, and again, this one actually has mitered spot. Oh man, I got this thing. I have got to, look at this. This is that thing that I need to do for Missy that
more things to finish.
My wonderful friend Jenny Bauer made for me. And this little guy right here, which holds some electronic stuff and a garage door opener.
So fancy.
But it has a little mitered inset and stuff, and it's got more stuff in it than it will hold. So, but
we're at max capacity over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, the answer is no, and I just wanted to show you something else.
We'll show you something else.
You're like, you ever made a couch? No, but let me show you my outfeed table.
So, Semo Woodworks wants to know, now are you going to build a boat for fishing?
Oh man,
that would be so cool. Remember we used to watch videos about, remember the people that made the wooden boats? This was a long time ago. They would hand make wooden boats.
Like canoes or the boats?
Who? I don't know, but I remember it was beautiful.
Oh, sure.
This is a long time ago. Anyway, no, we're not building a boat. That would be wonderful.
But I wouldn't mind getting a kayak.
Oh, evidently, there is a worldwide shortage of kayaks right now.
So
I saw that on Twitter, so it must be true. Yes.
Gutierrez 1273 says he's built 2 of the dressers for his girls. Awesome, man. Fantastic. Let's see, what do we have here? West Texas is dry. East Texas is humid. Oh, there you go. I had no idea.
Good to know. Teresa wants to know, are there any plans for lady FTBT hats and shirts?
Ooh.
We were just discussing this.
We were just discussing this. I'm going to go with yes for shirts.
Yes.
Because we are...
Agreed.
What? Why did this just come on? That's super weird. I must have just...
You must have hit the button.
Yeah. My bad. We are part of the reason I've been trying to get through the shirt. So if you guys are at all interested in buying a Fix This Build That shirt, still have some available. The quantities are getting limited. And once we sell out of the stuff we have here on hand, we're going to move to a different vendor and we're going to drop ship. So instead of shipping from here, we're going to have other people do it. It'll be easier because we can, we'll do like on-demand printing so that they can, so we don't, the biggest part about holding inventory on shirts is the sizing and getting I'll end up having, 15 extra larges and I'm out of larges and then I have to do a whole nother order. To get a good price, you want to order a lot, so blah, 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 blah. So once we do on demand, then it's like, hey, we can just list out a bunch of stuff and they can just make one, literally make one because it's a different printing process. And so we could have the ladies, we could have the men's, we could have different styles and designs, which is what we're looking to do.
It's just more flexible for what we need. I've got 2 questions. So Matt wants to know, how do you like your X-Car? I've been looking at getting a CNC, but I don't know a lot about it.
Sure. Matt who?
Matt Boucher.
Boucher. What's up, Matt? I like the X-Carve. It's the 1000 by 1000 is the one I have, and so it the biggest thing about a CNC in general, I think, is getting the right size CNC. Because I went ahead and went to the biggest level because I was like, I want to have flexibility. But the drawback to that is that it takes up a big footprint. So
Yes.
it's almost a 4x4 footprint. That's a lot of
I was
fours.
with you. Footprint.
4x4 footprint. And so that's the downside is it's big, but like cut like
cool.
this is right. So like all this stuff obviously was done, and I was showing this earlier if you didn't see it on the CNC, and then I backfilled it with epoxy. I mean, this is just stuff that I couldn't do any other way, this accurate or to this level, and definitely not to this.
Whoa. It was really working very well.
Definitely not to this precision where I could have that piece that would inset into there. So that's where the benefit of the CNC comes in, is getting like super precise stuff, because you can do a lot of that stuff handheld with a router or with jigs or whatever guides. Doing something like
faster.
this, and doing something like this and repeatable. So I could go make 10 more of these just with the push of a button and setting it up, getting it aligned.
Well, and I think about the charging station that you built for the kids with the, what was that just called, a charging station? You used the CNC to cut their initial into each, like where their spots are, and it looks so nice and so crisp and so clean, and that would be pretty impossible to recreate. I mean, like that would, it's just, it's precision, it's
with that
so
level,
nice.
right? And some people want that handheld, hand-carved look, but
that was not what we were going for.
That's not my bag, baby.
It is nice. It does
I like
take up
machine
some
precision,
space.
efficient cutting, and so that's what's great with CNC. And so specifically the X-Carve, it's been great. The one thing I love about the X-Carve over other machines is the easel software program. And so you don't have to learn or buy other programs. The easel software makes it very easy. I've actually just started, and I should have been doing this a long time ago. I'm very proficient in SketchUp. And so this design I made in SketchUp. I was trying to do it in Illustrator, and it was a huge big pain. But I did it in SketchUp, exported it as an SVG file, and then you can import that directly into easel, and then I could make all the adjustments in there, and it was easy breezy, lemon squeezy. So it was all good. W. Cinder asks about cleaning brushes. Mine never came out clean after applying poly. W. Cinder, cleaning brushes from oil-based finishes is a massive, huge pain.
So don't feel bad.
Cleaning a brush for anything, even paint,
Yes.
it never comes out 100%.
No.
Your best bet is that it's just not a solid chunk of chunkiness bristles.
So set the bar kind of low.
Yeah. Like as long as you don't have that and it still works the next time, you're winning. But if you put it in solvent like overnight, so put it in mineral spirits overnight, and that hopefully, would help loosen all that out and let it drain down.
Or buy a new brush.
So
Thomas the Wood Guy wants to know, what is your favorite finish to use for indoor furniture and home decor? Which brand do you like? Gloss, semi-gloss, satin? Thanks for your input.
Got it right here,
pull
my
it
friend.
out. Everything is within arm's reach.
I
Rubio?
have really fallen in love with Rubio monocoat.
There should be like hearts on the screen right now.
I know. I wish they were a sponsor of the channel. They are not a sponsor of the channel. I wish they were.
Rubio, we love you.
Yes.
It smells good too.
I can't remember. I think they did send this to me, but they're not a sponsor. So they sent me a can, which is great because it is expensive. But they make this Rubio Monica. It is just so easy to apply. It is like the easiest finish to apply ever, hands down. And it's a beautiful finish. And with the name Mono Coat, you only need one coat. And so that's what I've used on the vast majority of the projects in the last year.
Right.
And I love it.
It looks
it's
great.
Fantastic. And it's like it's more of a matte finish and that's what I like. I don't like super glossy. So it's like a matte or a satin finish. All right, let's see here. Let me scroll up. I think I'm behind. I'm behind on the Instagram comments, so if you guys are asking questions, I will get to them. Joe B from far north of Canada, what's up? We got Kencho Peruvius. Any tips on picking up sponsors at my age? Luke, I know Luke is a young buck. Go listen to Made for Profit. Age doesn't matter. Age has nothing to do with it. Look at what's his name? Not Nathan. The kid, the toy kid.
Oh,
is it Nathan?
Ryan.
Ryan's toys. He's
that
like
kid
7.
Is like set for life.
Yeah, and he's like making $30 million a year.
He's made more money on YouTube than anybody else, I think.
Go check out our Made for Profit episode on sponsors. We have several of them actually.
Yeah.
Maurice from South Canada. What's here? Collarwood. Let's see here. Are we all from Ohio? We are not from Ohio.
I'm from Ohio.
Actually, Susan is from Ohio.
I've been living here for a while, but I am from Ohio.
But yes, and I lived up there for 13 years.
That's where we met.
Katie's been marathoning all the videos. I love it. I love it.
Cool.
Let's see here. Working hands woodworking. Thank you so much. Favorite piece I've ever made, Harry.
This is a good question. We get a lot.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this. Well, because I was thinking my little drying rack answer does not cut it.
No, you got to
But I
upgrade.
use it and I love it. But you would have a different one than me. So what would you say?
Mine would be. It's got to be the desk, the computer desk.
Mm-hmm. Macy's?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No.
The new one.
The one I just made.
Right.
Because it's walnut and
Yeah. Her top was in her top walnut.
Cherry.
Never mind.
Cherry.
Just kidding.
Katie wants tank tops. FTBT tank tops.
We could do it.
Maybe
Drop shipping. You could do all kinds of
I know.
things. Yeah. I feel like the front hall bench. I love the front hall bench.
That is a good one.
Yeah.
Because we use that like every day.
And it looks really nice. It's really stylish and it's still really functional, and it solves a problem for us, which is great.
You didn't ask, but I'm going to tell you. Most underrated project.
What?
What do you think?
Oh gosh.
We were just talking about it today.
We were? It's like pop quiz. Underrated project. I don't know. What was it?
3-in-1 step stool.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes.
Our kids use the
They use
step
it
stool
all the time.
It's like it went over like a lead balloon.
Oh, it did.
I think
it's a little on the
chilling
tall
at like
side, but it's perfect for our kids.
it's chilling at like 30,000 views.
Yeah,
where the rest of my channel is mostly a lot more than that. But
It's great for us.
It did not do very well, but we love it. Let's see here. Coil Nath just made the shoe rack. Fantastic, man.
See?
Gary, what's up,
a
dude?
different one.
Gary Berry in the house. Eric Bretham, P.S. Give my wife a raise or two.
That's right. Somebody asked me, I
give you
think
a raise.
my sister asked me, did you get a promotion? I said, no, I've not gotten a promotion. I'm just like the general grunt.
Yes.
We'll do all kinds of things.
Yep. Let's see here. Joseph P., thank you so much, man. I am glad that my work inspires you.
Oh,
that
great.
makes it worth it. I love hearing comments like that. It's fantastic.
Yep.
Myers Woodshop in the house. You can use easel for any other machine out there. You don't need the X-Carve to use it.
It's good to know.
Don't ruin my...
Don't rain on his parade. Just kidding.
I find that interesting,
Just
though.
kidding.
I find that interesting that they make that open source like that, because obviously that's their proprietary software. Do you have to have Pro? Do you have to have a Pro account for that, though, Ben?
I'm sorry. I have to stop. Okay,
What?
you're done.
Go ahead.
Lucas Snyder said he was saying he was
Legendary
making he's about to make picnic tables.
Yep.
But then he said, I've also been making mini picnic tables for squirrels.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
we need one of
assuming
those.
you've seen, what's his name? Mark Rober?
Mark Rober.
The Mark Rober squirrel video.
Pirate squirrels.
I've told my family about
Fat
it.
Gus.
Told the next door neighbor about it. I have watched that video more than once. We watched it once with the kids, and then I've watched it on my own. It's so much fun.
Yes. Yeah, you should check out, if you haven't already, check
Yes.
out Jesse Ueda and Ben Ueda.
Yes.
They're out in
They're in Joshua Tree.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Joshua Tree. And they have domesticated, not domesticated, but they have basically
like,
made
pets.
like outdoor pets out of squirrels and whatever. It's like a
They've named them,
it's like a gerbil
right?
hamster type. It's something that's out there.
It's like a
that's
desert squirrel.
some kind of rodent. Well, there's squirrels, but then there's the little guys.
Oh,
and
were they chipmunks or no?
it looks very much like a chipmunk.
Okay.
It could be desert chipmunks.
We
I
don't know.
Swamp chipmunks.
It's hanging out with the desert air conditioners.
But they did concrete. They made a concrete castle.
I've
like,
not seen this.
Like a spire with like little.
Aspire.
Yeah, and so they go up there and they
Oh,
they're eating. They look very
adorable.
Yeah, they look very.
That's funny.
Bold and.
Did they have a photo op like Mark Rober did?
No.
You have to watch
they
the
need
Mark
get it.
Rober
Yeah,
video. It's awesome.
You have to get that.
Yeah.
let's see here. Legendary Tony, thank you so much. Katie, absolutely. Thank you. Paunch from Monterrey, Mexico. Doing good, man. Any plans on purchasing a Shaper Origin or doing some videos? Stex Custom. No, because, so if you're not familiar with what the Shaper Origin is, it's like a handheld router, but they've turned it into a CNC. So you can program in and like do it by hand, and then the machine makes it perfect. And it's really cool. It's like as long as you keep it within this certain area, it will like make the adjustments and do, and it's really cool. I've used one. I used one at a trade show, but where it doesn't make sense for me, where I think it does make sense is like, I mean, lots of different places, but if you don't have the space for a CNC and you want to use that, that'd be great. But also, like, you put down this tape, and that's how it senses where it's at. It's like this tape that looks like dominoes. It's got like these little dots, and it's like almost like Morse code or, you know, some kind of thing that it interprets, and it knows where it's at as you're moving it around. So it's got a camera that looks out there and it tells you where it's going, or you can move it where it needs to go. But the cool thing is that you can put that anywhere. And so if you wanted to like carve something on a like 20 by 20 foot thing and wanted to do different things that all lined up, you could do that and not need that big place, not have a bed that big, and make everything connect and lay down the right way. That's really cool. The downside is that yes, it is a handheld CNC, but it's also 100% human intervention necessary, meaning you have to be holding it the whole time.
It's only as good as the machine that's holding it.
Well, and it's only worked when you're holding it. So, like if you
actually be out there doing
it. So if I have a 2-hour carve on the X-Carve, I start it and then I leave. If I have a 2-hour carve on the Shaper, I'm standing there for 2 hours. So, you know, for me, that's precision is one of the, obviously the biggest things on the CNC. But number 2 is automation, meaning that I can touch it and then go be doing other things while the CNC is running. And so to me, that's the biggest downside of the Shaper, but that's not what it's meant for, right? So that's you know, it's made for a very specific
quick projects.
Niche.
Yeah.
Not necessarily quick projects, but you know, people who don't have space, like, you know, maybe you would spend 2 hours doing it. Like if you had something really awesome,
that's true.
You know, you're not gaining any efficiency from a Shaper Origin in being able to do other things while it's running. You will gain efficiency, you know, by not having to hand cut things. Yeah. But anyway.
I have a great question.
Let's
comment
hear it.
Here. LC squared, which I've been typing with Lucas about the squirrels, and I swear I misread that as LC squirrel, and I was like, yes, but it's LC squared, which is a great name. Found my first projects while cleaning up the garage today. Stretcher frames for paintings. Couldn't throw them out fast enough. What's an early project that you would never want to see the light of day?
It's probably sitting over there.
What is it?
I made like this cutting board that I didn't pay attention to the direction of the grain. And so every time I ran it through the planer, it would chip out on different boards, and I'd flip it and it would chip out on the other side. And so it ended up being like a half-inch thick. And it just looks, it's literally sitting right over there.
Yeah, I remember when we finally put it in the scrap pile.
That one, and then...
That's great. Like everybody else comment. Like, what's one of your first projects that you never
let us
want
know.
to
What
see
are your?
the light of day?
I love that. I love that
that's a really
question.
good one.
Probably something like, I can't even think of. I'm trying to think of like early blog days.
Yeah.
Like most of my stuff. I mean, I've been.
I think you've just
good.
evolved. Like the early stuff is more functional, like the
right.
caddy.
Like none of it looks. I was
but it's
thinking
not
about
bad.
that.
It's just not like.
No, it's fantastic.
Fancy.
Right.
But it was great.
Mine have just kind of like my skills and the quality of the design and the build and the functionality has increased. But I don't look at the old stuff and be like, oh god.
And the materials, because when you were starting out, pallet wood was huge.
That's pallet wood.
Everybody was
something
doing pallet wood, and then.
But I was thinking about that. But I still have a lot. Like we have the pallet wood, the crate that we have the blankets in.
That's true, and that looks nice.
Like
it does look nice, but like pallet wood was very hit or miss. I know that one does look good. Yep, we have a pallet wood Tennessee sign hanging in our front hallway.
I'm sure there's something that I'm not remembering.
Sticking with it.
Mook, you can use Ruby on anything, so you can use it on pine.
Lucas says he's built 5 squirrel tables in the last week. He's selling them to people.
I love it.
I love it too. It's great. He's 13.
Speaking of, that's all. I knew he was young.
Yeah.
Jhonatan, how do I usually get rid of scrap wood? tons of
We've
it
got a
with fun
pile.
ideas. So,
Give it
interesting
away.
you say that. Yeah, it depends upon what the scrap wood is, because I made like that modern outdoor sofa. It was somebody else's scrap wood, but it was very large. So I had
Right.
like big beams of cedar that were from a construction project that they're like, hey, do you want these? And I was like, absolutely.
Yes.
But then my scraps end up being like this, right? Like stuff like this. And what I typically do, and you can see it here, is I typically keep scrap around for like using it as a backstop. So I was like, whatever I was doing in here, drilling holes and using that as a backstop to not blow things out, or testing holes, or just like use it for
Just like throwaway things.
like
yeah.
you always or blocking. I use that quite a bit. That's
You
like
do.
actually what I was using it for, is holding up these pieces as I was punching out the centers of them. That's what I do for a lot of a lot of things. But obviously you can't, that's not going to make up everything. So cutting boards are great if you have hardwood and it's long enough. And then other than that, sometimes honestly I just have to burn it.
You don't actually burn. No, we do burn it.
I do burn. Like I had
We
a
do
lot
a
of,
lot
so I
of-
had a
we
lot
do
of
a lot of
offcuts from the
campfires.
cedar.
What now?
I had a lot of offcuts
Oh,
from the cedar, but they were
yes.
all like small-ish, and I couldn't really build a whole ton of stuff with it, and it's not great for cutting boards. And so I did something very unlike myself, and I cut it up, and I'm going to burn it.
Yeah. I've got a question from Blaine. Blaine is building, what did he tell me it was? Oh, the shelves for his garage or shop
Yep.
or something. He said for his 3-inch screws, for my 3-inch screws I'm planning on using for my shelves, which brand and type of screws did you use? I'm assuming on the the shelves.
So if you're going to be anchoring things into the wall, a 3-inch, like number 10 would be the most, the most sturdy. And I would use do not use a drywall screw. Use like any type of deck screw would be fine, honestly. So if you did like a number 10 deck screw.
Right. Why do you not use a drywall screw?
Drywall screws are very brittle.
Okay.
So
Because the drywood isn't very...
it's just they're not meant to support massive loads, because it's holding a sheet of drywall and you're putting a ton of them in there. They're just a cheaper material. And so the shear strength of a drywall screw is much less than the shear strength of a deck screw. And they also have a thinner shank as well.
Is that why we get nail pops? Because they're so...
No, not that. That's
chintzy?
because that's because of the expansion and contraction of the lumber, as well as, I didn't know this. I was just watching Jeff from DIY Renovision, and he was saying that when you look at the wall, if you're looking at drywall, we have a bunch of nail pops like all over the place.
Yeah.
And when you look at it, if there's any boards, like if there's 3 boards and one is in and the other 2 are out, when they suck that in, it's like the other 2 are wanting to pull the drywall forward. Mm-hmm. And so it would do that, but then the reverse also happens. So it wants to push out. So it's like, if it's under tension, it eventually works itself loose.
Okay. And it takes a while, but
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. So for Blaine, it was any deck screw?
Number 10 3-inch deck screws.
There we go.
And if you get ones that have, the ones that I like to use are the ones that have, and like I have these construction, so these are SPACs. These are actually the exact ones I think I was using. These are, what are these? SPACs. Got it right here on my man. SPACs T-Star wafer head construction screws. And these are 3-inch number 10s. And so they have this nice big head on there, if you can see that. So it's got a wafer head, and then that way it gives it a lot of holding power versus it's like a pan head, wafer head. These are the ones I used, and I love them. They work really well.
Yeah. And he's getting some other recommendations online here. Matthew Van Blaricom?
Yep, Matthew Van Blaricom.
Thank you.
He's
He
a
says,
regular.
What tool? I didn't want to butcher his last name. Evidently, we said somebody else's last name correct. So kudos to us. I'm trying to think of it. Another Matt. Anyway, what's a tool that you secretly love and will take to your grave?
Ooh.
We're getting like really good deep
Well, like,
tool
I don't think
questions
there's
and
any,
project.
I
you secretly
make
love,
no
though.
secrets
I know, but like, is there one where you're like, okay, it's not super duper fancy, but I still just love it? You have a lot to pick from here, babe.
I know, I do. I normally just go straight to this wall. Actually, this one, I wouldn't take this to my grave, but I do like it. So I'm going to cheat a little bit. But this one, this was a very gimmicky, I think they called it like the dog bone. But this is a socket, like a rotating socket thing. And this is like one of those, it was like, Father's Day, like, the gimmicky stuff.
Did your parents get it for you?
My dad got it. My dad always, it's like every Christmas. He'll be so proud
that you love it.
Every Christmas, my dad tries to get me a like novel tool that's like inexpensive.
Hard.
And he did a great job for like the first 10 years.
Right.
it's gotten very...
And then you became like, this is my full-time job.
Right.
And
like,
it got a lot harder.
One year, what he gave me, you still have it, was this, like little things like this. This is a spring-loaded nail set.
Huh.
These are awesome, by the way. And so if you don't have a hammer, you can just pull it out and do that.
Oh, that's so smart.
Yeah, so this was one of the things he got for me. Just little stuff like that. And anyway, this one, when he got it for me, I was like, oh, come on. Like, this is... Because it's like one of those things, and you're like, it just looks so gimmicky, and it is so gimmicky. But I'll be darned if I don't use this thing. Like if I don't know which one to do, and I don't want to pull out my full socket set, I'll just grab this. I use this a ton when I'm working on the kids' bikes, because I just take it and like, I can't remember which one it was, and I'm just like flip it around, and then I find it, and it's good to go.
Put the seat up, put it back on.
Yep.
Well, cool. Well, now we know.
Yep. Thanks, Pops.
No secret tools that you're like harboring or anything?
No.
We're pretty open about all the tools.
Pretty forthright with all the tools. Nally Woodworking made the miter saw station and the main sources of the build. That is awesome, man. Let's see here. Am I building anything now? Steel and wood. I am. We're building a
secret.
A secret.
We're building a secret. Secret is the theme of the show.
Yes. And Finley Woods from Queensland. What's up? All right. We got, let's see who else we got. Thanks for sharing. Tim 10 Landscape. Absolutely. The jewelry box we opened, there were 3 drawers in it. Accidentally glued the drawers down. Oh, no. That's no good.
What was it?
Katie accidentally glued the drawers down. You're also on YouTube.
Welded. What did you weld to the ground once?
Oh, I welded. I welded a clamp.
Oh, it's your clamp.
I had clamped a little tab in place, and I was welding it, and then I went to grab the clamp, and I had welded the clamp to the piece.
Yeah.
8-in-1 multifunction spanner wrench. There you go, Maurice. Thank you. Leather by Dragonfly. What is up, Patrick? How are you, my man? First episode he's seen with my wife, Andrew Harrison Taylor. You've not been around for a long time.
I'm here.
We've been like 3
it's
months.
It's been like, no.
Oh, yeah.
3 months?
2.5 at least.
Like 2.
No, 2.5 at least.
Big time.
Big
time in it now.
Because I looked and I was like, I was looking at all the episodes. I was like, holy cow. I mean, I feel like there's like 12 episodes now.
That's what happens when you do it every week. Yeah. And our kids have finally adjusted. Our middle guy is like, all right, you got to do the live. In the beginning, he was not having it.
He was like wrangling the others.
I know.
He was like, they've got the live. We gotta go.
I know. They're so cute.
And at the beginning, he was like literally crying in his bed.
You would think like we were leaving the home or something. His bed is like right above us. And he was just so upset about me not being in the house during the live and being out here. That was it.
Yeah.
Kids are unpredictable.
Well, and he can hear us. He didn't like that.
I don't know.
I can hear you talking, but I can't see you.
Yeah, that's right. He's got to have all the conditions just right to go to sleep at night. Yeah. So that didn't help him.
But he's got a heart of gold.
He does. He's a sweetie. He likes to go fishing. So what more can you need?
Bahadoro, what is up? All right, what else we got over there?
How do I convince my parents to let me get a planer? From Riley's workshop.
Riley. You find out what your parents need in the house.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And then you tell them how you're going to make it for them.
Yes, and save them so much money.
Typically, that's my advice for husbands and wives who have husbands and wives that aren't woodworkers. And so that's always the key to unlocking the purse strings. Is make it worthwhile for the person holding the purse strings. And or maybe they, depending upon
or if
your
you're
age, maybe they don't don't want to have the noise or whatever.
Or like I'm thinking as a mom, it might be more of a safety concern.
Right.
And in that case, I would think maybe if you would I don't know, watch some videos about like planer safety, and then like just kind of, I don't know, like
for sure, do not let them hear one run before you buy it.
Jeez, good pro tip there.
You will not get to buy it if they realize how loud it is. Planers are.
Let's see, Riley, how old are you?
Horribly loud.
Question. That seems weird.
But yes, I would.
Because I'm just thinking,
Riley,
like,
don't answer that question.
Don't answer that. As soon as I said that, I was thinking, we tell our kids all the time, like, do not tell anybody your age. I'm just going to say,
we're not asking any
if you're like
children's
15 or under, I feel like if our kids, of course they have a shop out here, but if they were like, Mom, I want to get a table saw or a planer, I'd be like, no, hard pass, because kids, you know,
depends
and like
on the
fingers,
maturity level
you only have so many
of the kid and the
but that being
said,
maybe you can build up to it and show them that you're like doing a great job with the other things.
But that's where you're gonna get it, is like, be like, man, we can get rough walnut and mill it down and then make an amazing sideboard, side table, dining table, coffee table, whatever.
Or maybe if they're willing to like, I'm just the mom in me, is like, maybe if you say you will only use it when they're like out in the shop with you, although I know that's kind of a pain because you probably aren't going to want to have to like have your parents hanging out there at all times, but you know what I mean? Like, I think I'd be more inclined to say yes if I was like, okay, well, they're not going to just go crazy on it when I'm not there.
But honestly, a planer is one of the safer tools in the realm of large woodworking tools, because it's like, it's just super loud.
Okay.
As long as you're not planing in grain, a planer is very safe because the blades are underneath; they're not exposed. I mean, like a table saw, a joiner, a router, a bandsaw, like those are a miter saw. Those are way more dangerous than a planer.
You know. Yeah. Okay. Well then, hey, maybe just tell them that.
First Do Woodworks. What is up? What is up? Hope the joint is doing good. Can you add me? I have a question. I thought you said, can you ADD me? I was like,
we are on
I'm
that.
Undiagnosed ADD. Yeah. So,
Dad It Yourself says, how can I convince my wife to let me get a saw stop? So he was piggybacking off of Riley there.
Who was it?
Dad It Yourself.
Dad It Yourself.
He just joined us.
What's up, Scott?
He said, I remember when kids just used to want to have a drum set.
See, Scott, the downside of that, and maybe this is how you do it. The downside of that is the best way to get your wife to let you get a saw stop is to like cut your finger off.
No.
And then to be like, but
the best way?
I'm just saying like that. That's
not. Just cut it off. You don't need all 10.
No, I'm just saying like I think 2020 hindsight on a purchase of a saw stop is probably the most crystal clear 2020 hindsight, right? Like, wow, I wish we'd had a saw stop, and now you've got 9 fingers.
Here's what I would recommend as a wife of a woodworker. I would say, first of all, if you haven't already, and I'm sure you probably have, be building her things. Like you know what I mean? Like, make sure she's getting some good stuff out of this whole deal. Make sure that when she's like, I want a dining room table, you're like, yes, I will put that on the list, and it will happen. That is key. Don't just put it on the list. But then also, like, if you know of anyone who has unfortunately lost some digits, or if you have like a story you can share, because sometimes people like, you know, that happens and then they put it out there in the world and they write up their story or whatever. I would maybe like be like, hey, look, this is what we'd like to avoid. Don't lose a finger, but like let them. I know, I was trying to think of who that was too.
There's a guy.
Yeah, and then be like, this, it's worth it. You know, it's safety. Because for me, it's peace of mind. Because it used to be when Brad would go out in the shop and work, and he is so safe and careful. I remember I used to I was going to go run an errand with the kids, and I'd be leaving him at home doing whatever, and I'd think, oh my gosh, what if something happens? This is before the saw stop, and I'm not there, and like it just was. You know, it would cross my mind. Didn't keep me up at night, but it crossed my mind. Yeah. So it's a lot of peace of mind knowing it will just turn off.
Also, make sure she really likes you.
Hopefully that's already underlying.
If you're not in the good graces and you're annoying her, then you
need to build her stuff. That's the deal.
She's like, maybe he'll just cut his finger just a little bit and then stop woodworking.
No.
You know, and then spend more time with me. But
she might be like, I want to watch, like my shows on TV while he's out there woodworking. It's
but
win-win.
In all honesty, the flesh detection of the saw, and it just happens to be saw stop, right? It could have been anybody. Saw stop does make a great saw. That is such a peace of mind for me personally, and then as well for Susan. I always keep the blade guard on mine.
Absolutely.
I know a ton of people that do not use the blade guard at all on their saws, just use the riving knives. Well, if you don't have good dust collection on there, it just gets in the way. Like I didn't use my old one.
Okay.
But mine has integrated dust collection, the overarm dust collection on the saw stop.
Right.
Is that just knowing, and it's not like I'm not reckless with it, but just knowing that like I don't have to worry about cutting myself. It brings a lot of peace of mind, and you know, if you do cut a finger off, I mean, you're going to be in the tens of thousands of dollars. in working with that.
That is true. That's a good point.
Dan Fisher is the guy's name.
Dan Fisher.
He unfortunately.
Is he the cut for Woodworks, or is that somebody else?
He unfortunately lost all of his fingers and his thumb on, I think, his left hand at a table saw accident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
And so, you know, if he had had a saw stop, that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah. He's
all
still
right.
woodworking though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's still woodworking.
He's a survivor. He's an overcomer. Seriously, like that's crazy.
HH Woodworking, what's up? Kind of new here. Is this my day job? It's my day job and my night job, because here we are at night.
We're here all the time.
Any tips for a beginner woodworker? Go check out Made for Profit, my podcast with John Malecki. We have a ton of great information about running a woodworking business on there. Let's see here. Cold Lolo. We don't really use music in our stuff, but feel free to hit me up in my DMs. Hand planers are much safer, Ryan. Yes, they are.
Yeah. Okay. So updates. Scott says, I think the jury is still out on if she's still fully attached to me yet. It's only been 23 years. So that was great. And then Mike says, hey, new channel, the 9-Fingered Wood Shop. And Lucas with the bird house, the squirrel things. He said, I got part of my finger cut off when I was 2 and cut it with a knife 6 months ago. Lucas.
Just give up the knives, man.
Don't play with knives. That's
give them
not
up.
Good.
Made by Blaine over on Instagram says, is that what Brad did so we could take over the garage, give you gifts?
What did you do?
You know exactly what I did.
What did I do? What did you do?
I said, look, this is how we're paying our bills now. Get
That
out of the
was
garage.
not. No, it wasn't. That was 6 months after we moved in here. I parked in this garage one summer. And then I said I would park out.
I promised her a gift that I never gave her.
What was it? Oh, that is true. I'm so glad you reminded me. I need to just go do it. He said we'll get a remote start on the van.
That's how you get the garage.
That is true.
If your spouse's vehicle does not have a remote start, get remote start.
And then I was going to get it, and our last van got totaled. It was not our fault. We got in an accident, and it got totaled, and I thought, well, it's a good thing I didn't put it on that one. And it's been years, and I just haven't done it for this one. I need to.
You need to.
I do.
Because I bought the new truck. I bought the new truck back in November-ish, and it has it. And
so now he's like,
it's delightful.
And every time he does that, I'm like, why haven't I done this yet? But yeah, remote start is key. Plus, I just wanted him to be able to have the space. I mean, it makes more sense. He was going to use it more, like, you were going to use it more productively than my vehicle just sitting in there.
And we were starting to gear up for...
Yeah, you were like doing the blog or thinking about the blog. Yes. Yeah. And then our kids were not itty bitty. I will say that too.
Right.
Like our youngest was probably 3.5, which is still pretty young, maybe 4, but it wasn't like I had babies. I think if we had babies, that would have been a real hard pass.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Right.
I would be like, no.
But yeah, because getting the kids in and out of the car, like when it's raining, no dice.
And now they're just used to it. They just
Morrison Tenon, what's my most used woodworking pun? Probably me nails.
What now?
Me nails.
Oh yeah. You're kind of the king of the puns, though.
I am. Yeah. Me nails is probably the most used.
Yeah. Although you just started actually using that somewhat recently.
On camera.
Yes.
Nick Land, what is up? And what finish on American walnut? Coil, Nath, I use the same thing. So I like to use anything oil-based for walnut. And because like if you use water-based, it just doesn't give it that depth that an amber oil-based would. I don't know why I just stopped that, but anything oil-based is what I'm going to say. And I like to use Rubio Monocoat.
Yeah. Rubio Monocoat all the way. Worth Effort says somewhere I heard that more people get injured on a bandsaw, probably the meatpacking business. and more get marred on a table saw, and more die. Maimed? He said maimed. I was like, marred. That doesn't sound too
die
bad.
on a lathe.
What?
I could see that.
A lathe?
Well,
Wait
a lathe. Because
like,
of
when
stuff
you do the
flying
big
off.
Things.
Stuff flying off, hit you in the head.
No. Ugh. Anywho,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
And then Steven wants to know, thinking of a flooring project using vinyl plank flooring, do you have any recommendations?
Do it.
Do it.
I actually have a video coming out. We're going to be doing some more videos on vinyl plank. So I have 2 videos on it. I would recommend I don't know what your exact question is, but I have one on beginner mistakes, and I have another one just doing an install. And we've enjoyed it. We like it. We have used life-proof flooring from Home Depot, and it's great. It's a great product. There are several different ones out there, but that's the one we've used, and we've been happy with it. Mm-hmm. But I do have 2 more videos coming up on vinyl plank flooring. One is going to be all about how to cut it, from using all the way from like a razor blade all the way up to a specific vinyl plank flooring cutter.
And he covers how to cut them in other videos, but this is more of like an in-depth.
It'd be in-depth,
if you
like the whole,
really
like to run the gamut,
project and know what
how
you're
to
gonna
cut
do.
all the different types of cuts between a rip cut, a cross cut, a curve, a notch, a cut out hole in the middle, stuff like that. So, and then we're gonna be installing it in our bathroom. Yep. So downstairs bathroom, because that's one of the other questions I get all the time, because those videos are so popular on YouTube, is like, can you do this in a bathroom? Can you do this in a bathroom?
You can. It's waterproof.
Yeah, it's waterproof, but there are ways you have to do it. So you have to seal it around the tub and stuff. So I'm going to go over all that. But we've enjoyed. We
have it in our laundry room, and it's amazing.
Yeah,
it's a huge upgrade.
It's great for wet locations.
Yeah, and we put it in our niece's bedroom, and so I think she still likes it, which is great.
Up in the OH.
Up in the OH. Yep. Dad yourself says, if I cut off 2 fingers, can I get the big saw stop?
Oh yeah, you get through for every finger you cut off, you get an extra horsepower on that, Scott.
I think so.
Dan Fisher, Big Willie's Garage is Dan Fisher, and I want to say it's
I
can't remember what his channel is on Instagram, but I want to say it's something funny. It's like I think it's like 5 Finger Woodworks now. I think it might be 5 Finger Woodworks, but yeah, it's Dan Fisher.
Worth Effort.
Not Drew Fisher. Definitely not Drew Fisher.
Okay. Worth Effort wants to know, are y'all anchored there until the kids graduate public school? I mean, like, I guess so.
Yeah, we're anchored for sure in the area.
Right.
We're anchored in the area until the kids are done, because our oldest is going into middle school, and so so it's very different. But
he's excited.
We really love our elementary school, and we've got 3 more years of elementary for our youngest to be out, and and we'll stick around for that.
Right.
So.
And who knows, with the year, we won't go into all that, but we don't know if it's going to be online or in person or whatever.
So no bigger shop is what he's asking. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we would move within the area, possibly.
Right.
We're not against moving.
We may move within the area.
Our kids are super happy where they are right now. They've got friends all over the place, so that's definitely the biggest thing. And we like our house.
We have discussed like getting some land and having a separated shop.
Yeah.
And then maybe building a house there later. So we'll see. But
there are lots of different irons in the fire.
But this is like, for right now, this is what we see for the foreseeable future.
Right. For at least a few years. Yeah.
Awesome.
We could be here for 20 years.
We're coming up on, we're past actually 10 o'clock. So let's see here. Asking about, just started using you guys, found you all. First do. Yeah, so guys, Made for Profit, we don't have any of those scheduled at the moment. But that is out there for you guys to use. Made for Profit, that is. For anybody trying to figure out how to make money being either a content creator or a woodworker, we cover both of those topics.
Yep.
And go check it out. Made for Profit is the podcast. So you can go search that and get that on any places you can get your podcast. All right, cool. Well, we are going to head out of here. So thank you guys so much for joining us, and hope you guys have a great week. Before we meet again, hopefully that video will come out on the
Cross your fingers.
Secrets. Yeah.
Secret.
It might be so secret that it's not even out.
It might be classified until the following
the
week.
nightstand with a secret drawer. If you missed what I'm saying on that, you can go check it out at the beginning of the YouTube video for the live if you want to go check that back out. But thanks for joining us, and we will catch you guys next week.
That's right.
Build something awesome this week, guys. See ya.
Bye.
All right, we're going to end that. We're going